Auntie Mickey's house. Oh yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. You're in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat, grab a seat. Come on in and hit that light, hit that light. Oh, you're Aunt Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. Grab a seat, prop your feet. Let's sip some tea, sip that tea. Entertainment, news, and spirituality. From the culture to the fun, Auntie sets the tone. Sets the tone. With a laugh and a truth, she holds the throne. She holds the throne, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Come on in now. Auntie Mickey's house. Oh, Auntie's house. You're in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat, yeah, yeah. Come on in and hit that like, don't forget now. Auntie Mickey's house. She can roast with a smile, drop wisdom too. Break down the headlines, bring it straight to you. Straight to you, baby. Community strong, conversation grown. Grown talk, baby. Auntie Mickey's house, make yourself at home, yeah. Come together, every voice is heard. Every voice. Respect the vibe, let's share the word. Oh, yeah. From the jokes to the prayer, she keeps it real. Keeps it real. Auntie Mickey's house, that's the deal. That's the deal, baby. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. Oh yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. Known in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a seat. Come on in and hit the light. Hit the light, hit the light. You're at Auntie Mickey's. Yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's. Auntie Mickey's house. It's Auntie Mickey's house. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. You're in her house. You know you're in her house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a seat, come on in and hit that light. Hit that light. Oh, you're at Auntie Mickey's. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Auntie's house. Auntie's house. Auntie's house. Grab a seat, drop your feet, let's sip some tea. Sip that tea. Entertainment, news, and spirituality. From the culture to the fun, Auntie sets the tone. Sets the tone. With a laugh and a truth, she holds the throne. She holds the throne. Yeah. Auntie's house. Oh, Auntie's house. You know you're in a house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a seat, yeah. Come on in and hit that light. Hit that light. Don't forget. She can roast with a smile, drop wisdom too. Break down the headlines, bring it straight to you. Straight to you, baby. Community strong, conversation grown. Don't talk, baby. Auntie Mickey's house. Make yourself at home, yeah. Come together, every voice is heard. Every voice. Respect the vibe, let's share the word. Oh yeah. From the jokes to the prayers, she keeps it real. Keeps it real, keeps it real. That's the deal, that's the deal, baby. Yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house, oh yeah. You know you're in a house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a seat. auntie, come on in and hit that light, hit the light. Oh, your white auntie Mickey's, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house, Auntie Mickey's house, Auntie Mickey's house. Oh.
Happy Saturday, y'all. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Ooh, can y'all hear me? It's loud up in here. Let me turn this thing down. It's all loud in my ears. Shoot, blew myself out my seat. The hell? Shit. Oh, again, happy Saturday and welcome to Auntie's house. Welcome to the house. Kick your shoes off. Relax. It's the weekend. Oh, it's the weekend. And it's been a real cool weekend. I've been just kind of chilling. Ain't doing much. Been, watching YouTube, watching the latest. And I've been studying this Nolan Wells case. But I thought I'd take a little bit of a sidestep. It's still in line with Nolan. But I just got to talk about something else related to this fool, this Tatum fool. It's really getting on my damn nerves. Hello, Queen Mac. Welcome, sweetie. Hello, Cece. Hello, Kendra. Let's see who else is here. Satin doll. There's my satin doll. There she go. How is everybody doing? I'm glad to see somebody up in the house with me. Us old folk, we kind of stay in the house on the weekends. Knees be popping, back be hurting. So I keep my butt in the house. What's up, Miss Purple? How are you, love? Oh, goodness gracious. Hello, Devon. Hello, sugar. Well, I've been really riding this case big time, and I got to say it again. It's really, it's heavy. It's heavy. It's heavy on my soul. Hi, Camille. How you doing, sugar? Where's your wrench at? You came in the wrong account. You don't have your wrench. I'll have to do something about that one. Anyway, yeah, I've been watching a lot about Officer. I'm not even gonna call him Officer Tatum, because he don't deserve to hold that title. He ain't no officer no more. I'm just gonna call him Coonerville. I'm just gonna call him Coonerville, because that's what's in his head. That's where he lives in his head, Coonerville. Lord have mercy. But before I get off into that, I do want to let y'all know, if you haven't heard, there's been another arrest. And imagine that. It wasn't for anything for the family. It was, once again, somebody has apparently threatened that judge. It's funny how they jump for her. Let's see, Miss Purple. Miss Purple said, yes, it's really heavy. I see Tabitha Brown has spoke out too. A lot of people are speaking out about it. And we have to. This is not the time now to be silent. That's been the problem for a long time. We've been conditioned to be silent. But I'm sorry. My mouth is too big to be silent. I can't. But yes, there's been another arrest. The first one was some dude in Sacramento who lobbied some threats to Ashley Cole, the judge. And of course, she's so frightened. Oh my goodness, someone's threatened me. And oh my God, I'm so scared. They hurried up and arrested somebody. Ain't nobody arrested nobody for the attacks on Nolan's family, though. The hell that people online have been dragging that mother through. Ain't nobody jumped for her. But we gonna jump for her on this internet. We gonna be real vocal. We may not be able to go over there and whoop some ass for messing with her. But oh, she knows she's got support out here. She knows it. But yeah, let's see. Let me pull this up and share it with you if you haven't seen it already. I just kind of got tickled. I'm like, wow, they jump for them, don't they? They jump for them folk, don't they? And you know, we gonna have to, some of us is gonna have to tone down on, you know, the online threats and stuff like that, because these folks know they ain't going nowhere over there to do nothing to that woman. So don't subject yourself to the nonsense. Please don't. That's what they want you to do. So they can jump up and come arrest you and take another one of us off the street that ain't doing nobody no harm. But I'm gonna go ahead and share this with you. Let's see if I can make it a little bit bigger so y'all can read it, because you know my eyesight is bad. But yeah, a Cincinnati woman has been charged after making a BOMB threat, boom, 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 to multiple government offices following Nolan Wells' death. Unfortunately, that video is just from the funeral. I don't want to play that. It's not something I want to replay again. But this is the young lady here. Lord have mercy. Oh, Lord have mercy. So I'll go ahead and read it to you, because this lettering is really, really small. I'm going to make it big, though. Okay. Scrolling along. So this is out of Gulfport, Mississippi. According to WLOX, a Cincinnati, Ohio woman faces a federal charge after authorities say she made dozens of boom boom threats, calls to 2 Mississippi government offices in July following the death of Nolan Wells. Michelle Frances Edwards was charged July 30th, 2026 in United States District Court for the Southern District of Mississippi, Southern Division, with 1 count of transmitting and threatening communication in interstate commerce. And apparently that's according to the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office. So it says the calls. According to the complaint, Edwards made 2 sets of calls on July 23rd, 2026 using a blocked number. Come on, baby girl. You should know by now they can trace those. Easy. Easy. But we gonna pray for her anyway. The caller stated, "Do not go outside. The clock is ticking." And the word die. Between 2:06 p.m. and 2:24 p.m., the Jackson County Sheriff's Office dispatch received 8 calls placed using a *67 to mask the caller's identity. Baby girl, that's old. They can track you. Sweetheart, come on. You know what? Sometimes I think people want to go to jail because they just do the real easy stuff to go. Wow. The caller said, "Y'all got a BOMB outside. Don't come outside, bitch." And later, quote, "Y'all still in there?" The threats triggered a building lockdown and a BOMB sweep with canine units. Investigators submitted an emergency disclosure request to C Spire and Verizon, which identified the phone number used. Lord Jesus, we got to pray for these. We got to pray for these people. Good Lord. Hello, adventurous you. How are you? Oh, good grief. Cell tower data from the night of the incident showed the device associated with the number had bedded down near Edwards' known address in Cincinnati, Ohio. The charge carries the maximum penalty of 5 years in prison, a $250,000 fine, and 3 years supervised release. Jeepers. And you see, that was a really short, short uh, thing, announcement. They didn't even put too much into it. Wow. Stupid. CC, come on. Yes. They ain't playing. You know they gonna protect them folks. They gonna protect them people at all costs. Absolutely. So yeah, I think that, we need to be more diligent in what we're focused on, but there's a line that you don't want to cross because it defeats the purpose. Yeah, they got her butt real quick, didn't they? Yeah. So yeah, I guess the talk of the weekend has been Tatum and TMZ, because TMZ, they didn't start acting real biased too, which that wouldn't be the first time. That wouldn't be the first time at all. Yeah, they were biased in that last case with oh Jesus, it's slipping my mind. The young man that got 35 years, and it's sickening. It's really sickening how biased they get. But they're for sale. Absolutely, they support that red side, and they care about them dollars in their pocket. See, they will buy a story in a heartbeat, and they'll ride for somebody as long as they pay them. Okay, adventurous you. I gotta put y'all up on the screen because my glasses, I don't know what's going on with these bad boys. Need to turn them up. Auntie Mickey, is this the lady they arrested? They claim is about the case. I guess this chick, no, she's just a random somebody that got pissed off, called in a couple of bomb threats. Excuse me. Devon said Trump got these folks thinking black folks free game. The thing is, black lives don't matter, period. But you know what? They do matter. They matter to us, and that's what matters. All lives matter, actually. But they just didn't get the memo. Okay? Me either, Herminia. I'm not watching them. I'm not supporting them no more. Ever. I mean, I really don't watch them all that much anyway, because they got kind of corny, Watch the show again. Watch that show again. You talking about TMC, sweetie? They claim she is the second arrest. Yeah, she's the second one. Yeah. Well, the first one was a guy in Sacramento. I think I reported on him yesterday, day before yesterday. He's a guy in Sacramento. I don't have his name off the top. Let me see if I got it down here. I might have it written down. I got notes all over the place. What is his name? What is his name? Joseph DeMarchi of Sacramento, California. That's his name, Joseph DeMarchi. So yeah, she's the second arrest. But I'm really agitated with this Officer Tatum dude. And again, I keep calling him Officer Tatum. I gotta shake myself from that because that seems to be what he's used to being called, but he ain't acting like no officer. I'm curious as to why he only lasted with the police department for 6 years. If you all that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if you all that, you should be still on the force. You should be working toward retirement. So apparently, if y'all don't know, Tatum is an African American conservative YouTuber, content creator, who's built his platform on spewing hatred for and blatant dissent against the black community. And never, ever, 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 never have I ever witnessed a black person, dead or alive for that matter, to be so self hating and diabolically against his own damn people. I just can't get over it. I really can't get over it. I mean, way back in the day, when people had to kind of shuck and jive to get by, I can understand them, having to deal with the times. But we're not in those times anymore. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the times I'm talking about is like right here. This is the times I'm talking about. Check this out. These kind of times right here. Let me turn this music down. I'm going to stop playing this music because it's always in the way. Yeah, check this video out.
Send Mr. Shaw in.
Y'all remember Step and Fetch?
George Bernard Shaw?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
You're a little sunburned, aren't you?
yes, but see, I'm a outdoor man.
All right, get
Lord
outdoors.
have mercy. Yes, sir. Let's see, outdoor man. That ain't funny now. But that's what they had back then. And this is what we have right now with Tatum. Now, this brother right here, Step and Fetch It, he shucked and jived for that movie screen. But he was a very, 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 very rich man. Very rich man. Because of the coonery that he displayed for them people. But again, is it worth it? How do you live with yourself? I understand, you had to make a living and whatnot. But at some point in time, where is your dignity at? Yazamaza. Did you hear what this dude said to him? Let's go back. Nowadays, boy, people would be all over the place.
Yes.
Mr. George Bernard Shaw.
Send Mr. Shaw in.
Dana Robertson, you can kick rocks, dear. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.
George Bernard Shaw?
Yes,
You're a little sunburned, aren't you?
You're
yes,
a little
but see, I'm
sunburned.
a outdoor man.
All right, get outdoors.
Wow. Dismissed him like he was nothing. Yeah, we just had our first troll in here this evening. And I had to kick their ass out of here because I'm not having the disrespect. And for those of you who might be new in here, sometimes I may go off on people and my mouth can get a little, out of hand because I don't deal with disrespect well. So please forgive me in advance if I cuss somebody out. But I did really well a minute ago. Somebody came in here talking crazy. Okay. Devon, you are absolutely right. FBI sure found them fast, but can't find who unalived Nolan. Officer Jack SSA getting blasted by everyone, even Nancy Grace. Absolutely. Even Nancy Grace got in that ass. As she should. I got to get this thing off the screen. Hold on just a second. Where'd it go? It went bye-bye. Okay, let me get rid of him. Okay. That was easy. So yeah, they don't have to they don't really put a whole lot of effort in doing their job when it comes to what the people want. It's more like what they want or what the elite people want. You know what I'm saying? Let's see, Mulch Man. Mulch Man is watching Blazing Saddles. Or are you watching or are you asking me to watch it? I remember Blazing Saddles way back in the day. What am I watching Blazing Saddles for? Tell me about it. Refresh my memory, because it's been a while. If it has somebody in there shucking and jiving, I probably don't want to watch that again. You know. But as far as Tatum is concerned, it sounds like he had a decent future planned in the past. I mean, he played football, played college football for the University of Arizona. He worked for 6 years as a SWAT operator, a field training officer, and public information officer with the Tucson PD. I don't know what happened after that. He was only there for 6 years. Something had to happen. You're only 6 years on the police force, and all of a sudden you're gone, and now you're on YouTube. 2016, he became known on social media because of a Facebook video that went viral about policing and social issues. So I guess he found his genre and figured that'd be his best, I don't know, best route to go in life in terms of a career. I'm going to spend the rest of my life on YouTube. When he was an officer. Well, I don't know what happened. I'm curious. I'm going to look into that and see if I can find out. Did he do something out of line and they got rid of him? Wondering. That is very interesting. But so apparently, Nolan's mom, Christine, was on the Don Lemon show here on YouTube. And when Don questioned her about old Step and Fetch It, she stopped him cold. She refused to speak about him. Hold on just a second. Let me get this thing straight. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, apparently he lied and said that she went in on him or something, and can't seem to find that footage because he lied. He lied on the woman. I can't imagine how this man can fix his mouth to even go after this family that lost their 18-year-old son, 18-year-old brother, 18-year-old nephew. It's crazy. And this man can sit there and try to pick fights with the mama, start talking crazy about the mama. Have you lost your last mind? I don't know. Something tell me he ain't wrapped too tight. It's something more than just a few dollars in his pocket. I mean, for real. Because she never did go in on him. She was very gracious and just said, "No, I'm not talking about him." And she stuck to it. She wouldn't do it. He's really full of himself, and he can't help the narcissism. This fool is on his show, I guess, tried to make up some false narrative about Nolan's mom. So I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But there's another content creator on here called No Captivity, and they've been on this case as well, big time. They've definitely been on it. I'm going to share some of that. Hold on, let me find it for you. Let me find it. Oh, da. Where is it? Okay. Yeah, but I believe that's it. Let me make sure I got it at the right spot. I try to set this stuff in advance up so I don't have to look for it. Let me see.
it's called no captivity.
Free mind, free grind, real identity.
You know what? I think he's still live. I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm not going to go on there while he's live. Let me see. Let me see. Because he did interview them. Okay, hold on just a second.
About a young couple who gets a life-changing call. There's numbers over conveyed in a movie that and our
Yeah, he's trying to find
Nolan's
out.
world. Let me get to Don Lemonhead and Nolan's mother. I'm gonna.
He got a name for Don Lemon. He calling Don Lemonhead. Listen, the name calling is all over the place.
No captivity.
The name calling is all over the place right now. It's war, all right?
Be respectful to his mama. But I'm going to Don Lemonhead and Nolan's mother. I'm gonna be respectful to his mama.
You ain't got no choice. Why would you even say you're going to be respectful as if, you know, you have a choice, right? Or as if you're doing them a favor. This guy is so disrespectful.
And stupid, I might add. Are you stupid or are you dumb? You definitely are going to be respectful to her.
As if he's doing her a favor and her husband a favor and Nolan Wells a favor. I'm going to be disrespectful. What are you talking about? If you've already been very disrespectful to Nolan Wells' parents and his whole entire family. But he said that as if, you know, he's doing her a favor and everybody a favor. Right? This guy is very arrogant and he's very foolish.
But I do have
and he's an imbecile.
Criticism. Respectful to his mama. But I do have criticisms. When you watch this video, you're gonna see why I have criticisms. Roll the clip.
When you talk about all the things that have been spread, there is this officer, I hate mentioning his name, a former officer who...
This is what I want to know. What criticisms does he have, really, though? She chose to not even acknowledge him. She chose to not even talk about him, say anything about him.
This is where I guess he apparently said she went in on him and she never said anything about him. She chose not to mention or say anything about him. So he makes up lies. And I think there's something going on up in them brain cells that he can't quite grasp reality. Because she didn't say anything disrespectful at all. She did the classy thing and just let it go. She did the classy thing. I, on the other hand, would have went in on him personally. But this young lady here has class that I couldn't exude it. Not after I've lost my child like that. And this coon out here just cooning for these white folks. Okay, it's spinning now.
She took the high road. What, like this dude is a master cloud chaser. She took the high road. She didn't even say anything about you. And you just couldn't wait to take the first opportunity to slander them, right? She didn't even say nothing about him, but he took the first opportunity to slander Nolan Wells' family. This is great. Y'all, we've been calling this guy a sicko for a long time. A long time. And we've been knowing that Officer Bufoonery Tatum is a traitor, and he's obviously an attack dog. He's been an attack dog for right-wing entitlement for a long time. But I think this Nolan Wells investigation has taken the cake. This guy, attack dog Tatum, I don't think he's shown his true colors more than with this Nolan Wells investigation. I think this is the worst showing of degeneracy and shamefulness from Attack Dog Tatum. I think this is the worst we've ever seen.
Well, you know, he was picked by design. Ashley Cole's the one that picked him out. And if I'm sure you guys know the story, she went on his page on Facebook and left a comment on one of his pages or something. And the comment was, "I left you a comment. Please answer it." And then a few days later, he's interviewing her stepson, Warren. So we all know how he ended up, you know, windmilling for him. You know he's getting paid, I'm sure. Because I don't know, he's that can only be the only motivation I could think of that would make him make such a fool of himself.
You know, his coonism on display. This might be, I don't think it gets any worse than this. And then for him to follow this family around, for Attack Dog Tatum to follow this family around, it's harassment at this point. At this point, it's just it's pretty much harassment, right?
Don't be surprised if he ends up getting hit with a lawsuit soon.
You know, it's very disgraceful, to say the least. It's very disgraceful, man. Let's see what this clown had to say.
There's a far right wing who's been doing the interviews and has been saying, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not even going to comment on Brandon Tatum.
See?
No.
Time out. Do you guys find that kind of suspicious or interesting that Don Lemon said, "I'm not going to mention his name"? Fair enough. If you don't want to give a person publicity, if you don't believe they're legitimate, you won't say the person's name. He said, "I'm not going to say his name is this officer," right? Then mom gets on.
Oh my God. I know he's not going to try this right here. The mom she's not a podcaster. She's on the road. She's still grieving her son. You act like that was intentional. This guy, his private parts get hard when his name gets mentioned, right?
I believe it.
Even in a grieving case, even in a case where somebody lost their child, this guy gets aroused. And
I believe
he needs help, man.
And you would think she would say, "I'm not talking about that dude. He's irrelevant."
Who cares, bruh? Who cares? You've been saying her name this whole time. And he wants everybody to know he's relevant. Like, yeah, obviously I'm relevant.
And he's not.
Bro, she dismissed you. And the point of the matter is, he is salty that Christine Wells Wansley dismissed him. He is so salty that Christine Wells Wansley dismissed him. And that's the whole brunt of the whole matter. This is why he's even reacting to, her on Don Lemon's show. This is why he's calling Don Lemon head, right? And pulling these stunts. This is why he's been doing this. I'm gonna be honest with you. He wants to impress white society.
Ooh, you know who he remind me of? He's just a male version. Put a one in the chat if you know who I'm thinking of. Somebody that don't seem to understand what they really are. Oh my God. This is the male version of maggot. Love me, please. Love me, please. Exactly. Exactly. What is that? Zap? Z-A-P? I don't want to mess up your name. I hope I didn't say that wrong. My glasses need to be turned up a little bit. But you're absolutely right. Another house, you know what? A house ninja. And the thing is that they will never accept him. They will never accept him. That kind, they coon around, they think that that they're impressing them folks, and them folks ain't thinking about them. Okay, Devon said, the mother's a strong woman. The father should take over when the men attack. Absolutely. Absolutely. But you know what? I kind of understand why he doesn't. Because he might lose control and hurt somebody. That's his wife. They've been together a long time. And they got to hold their family together. They're already, right now, they're kind of in a shambles as it is. So, somebody like this coon up here would love for that husband to lose his cool. He would love that to happen. That just plays right into his plan. You know what I'm saying?
But he wants to increase his clout amongst white society even more. And he's using black people. He's been using the black community, and also, more ashamedly, Nolan Wells' death to do it.
He's not worth my time. I'm not talking about this guy you talking about either. Why would she say Brandon Tatum? She put my
Who cares?
She talking about you.
Who cares?
And in my personal opinion, she want people who hate me to come out and know who I am and search me and do all that other.
Well, oh my.
What is she supposed to call you? Exactly, no ego. Man, that's the comment of the afternoon. Actually, they respect you less because they feel like you'll betray your own and that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. They respect him less, and he think he making brownie points with them folks. They could give two shits in the wind about him. And there's going to come a time where he's going to need them at a very crucial time in his life, and they going to walk away. They going to walk the hell away. And the cold part about it is, because black people are naturally nurturing and forgiving and welcoming, there will be some people out there that will feel sorry for him. Because that's the nature. You know what I'm saying? That's the nature, because black people are the chosen one. Point blank, period. And some may not want to admit it, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
Bro, by now, everybody know who your black coon ad is. By now, everybody know who your black coon tail is. You don't need any help from Christine Wells Wansley. This dude is impossible.
Yeah, he's delusional.
And he's very slow. He's very slow. We talked about how he was in school, allegedly with no windows in high school. Right? Lil Tatum.
Wow.
We talked about how he allegedly was served orange juice and donuts. This guy is very slow, right? So this slow guy can easily trigger you. So don't get triggered by this guy. Just, I'm trying not to get triggered too, but every time I hear this guy's voice, man, it's just very irritating, man.
Stuff, but refuse to address specific things that they're saying that I'm saying. And they have never addressed some of the things that the boys have said.
Address it for what?
The boys
address what the boys have said. Actually, they have addressed it. You're lying now. You just lied. Right? The mother and the father, even the father especially, Elmore Wansley actually responded by saying Just because you park your car in our driveway doesn't mean we know you.
Exactly.
They did respond in a way to what Tristan Shepard said during your interview. You just lied on the family again.
Again. Oh, he's full
And that's
of
all
lies.
this guy does is lie.
That's what he does.
You have not heard them address the phone thing. You have not addressed them because Warren said that he told.
Who gives a damn what Warren said? Who cares what Warren Hudson said? Warren Hudson's dad is suing Ben Crump.
These boys lawyered up. These people lawyered up. Who's going to go to them and talk to them about anything? Honestly, who in their right mind would expect anybody to come to them and try to talk to them? First of all, their son is the victim, not their sons. I'm talking about Christine and her husband. Their son is the victim, not the ones that made it back. So why would you expect the victim to come and talk to any damn body? It's bad enough they had to go out there and do the police's job for them. Devon said they're going to do him like Trump did the man in Virginia, the black man who rooted for him and didn't get us. For real. Some folks, they just use you for a moment. And then when you're no longer of any use to them, they, move on. It's sad but true. But don't no good come to them folks in the end. Trust me. No good in the end.
Right now. And we know it doesn't have legs, but this guy is terrible.
Nolan's mother, that he had the cell phone and the keys. They have not said that he lied about it. They won't even talk about it. It came up on Chris Cuomo, and you guys will see that shortly. It came up on Chris Cuomo, and they pivoted.
He's not even saying nothing.
They didn't even address what Cuomo said. They just pivoted to something else.
What is he talking about? You're literally all up in their interviews critiquing what they're talking about. They're talking about the case. Only what they're allowed to talk about, mind you. And this dude seems to think he's their attorney. That's the sad part about it. This dude right here, this shucking and jiving fool, seems to think that he's their attorney. They can go ahead and let him do all the talking for him if they want to. But he gonna mess it up for him. Mark my word. Let him keep talking. Let's keep him around. Keep him around. Go right ahead. Okay, what happened here? Something happened. I don't want to have to find it all over again.
Y'all, it's got to give me a headache, man.
Okay.
About all this.
Oh, I'm talking about Mama. I got a question for you. With all due respect, why then, if you want to know what happened to Nolan, did your attorney not talk to me before I ever talked to the other side?
Talk to you. Has he lost his I almost said something. Has he lost his ever-loving mind? Who the hell are you? Why would their attorney come and talk to you about anything? You're a nobody. You're a clout chaser. And you're a pawn. And what you're doing it to get paid. Exactly, Camille. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. But he would be less entertaining on Charlie Brown. I think the teacher is more entertaining. Because this dude sounds like a plumb fool. Why would those people, why would their attorney come and talk to you? Who are you? Man, get the hell up out of here, dude. You tripping.
That's got to be the dumbest question in 2026. That's got to be the dumbest question in 2026. First of all, you wasn't even on these people's radar. These people weren't even thinking about you. And they probably still ain't trying to think.
Ain't nobody thinking about him. No Ego says Officer Tatum being an ex-cop and having experience dealing with liars, I believe he knows what happened to Nolan. That's why he's very careful when sharing the details of this case on his platform. It wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't, but I find it hard to believe that they would entrust him with any information. They got him because he's the only one out there that's willing to step and fetch it for them. Ain't nobody else out there that's going to wing for them, that's going to windmill for them. But to trust him with information, I really don't think them people would do that. How you doing, T is Mimi? How you doing, sweetie? Yeah, see, this dude is not very bright. Clearly, he's not bright at all. He is not the brightest bulb in the box. Not by a long shot.
Think about you. That's the dumbest question. That's got to be the dumbest question in 2026.
Remember, this is the same dude that said that, and on a public platform at that, said that slavery was the best thing that ever happened to black people. This is a man that broke down and cried when Charlie Kirk died. He broke down on his platform and cried like a little bitch. But he's the same one that said he would never cry publicly for his wife or his son. But you'll get up there on a public platform and cry for this racist white man that was just assassinated. Make that make sense. But the cold part about it is Charlie Kirk didn't even know this fool. Erica would not let him speak at the funeral. She's like, we don't know you. Who are you? You're not speaking at my husband's funeral. Who are you? He ain't got the memo yet. Dude, you're not important. You're not important. I'm going to have to find Nancy Grace because Nancy Grace got his ass. Hold on. I'm going to play this some more.
Talk to you for what, bruh? Gotta get on my damn nerves, man. Shout out to my sister Conversation with MJ for her $20 report from the chat. Good morning, sis. You know we got to rock out for you. It's great to see you always. She said, hey, Freezy, salute. You moving early today. I'm at work. Have a great show. Oh, and F tater tot. And that's a fact. Shout out to my sister, MJ. Thank you for your $20 report from the chat. You know we got to represent for you, sis. Let's get it.
Hey, hold up, wait. Do I see 5s, 10s, 20s in the place? No cap. Appreciate it.
But you know what, y'all? It's time that we as a people cancel this fool. It's time we cancel this shipless fool. We can't pay him any more attention. This I think this will probably be one of the last videos I even do on him. He's a waste of time. He's a waste of energy. He's a waste of air in my lungs. Gonna pay him dust. Because the more attention we pay him here online, the more it lines his pockets. You know. Now, only ones that's gonna be watching him is them white folks, because he says all the things that you know they want to hear. It's those right-wing white supremacists. That's who he appeals to. But we can't give him no more money. We just by watching him. You know what I'm saying? just by watching him. It lines his pockets. He gets watch hours here on YouTube. And I think eventually, as this thing dies off, his coon ass is going to end up leaving the internet because ain't nobody going to be paying him no mind. Because he's still speaking the same stuff. You know, he's still spewing the same hatred, the same talking points. You know what I'm saying? And that's all he basically coons for the right-wing white supremacists. Hold on just a second. No Ego says, I mean, he knows there's a resemblance of foul play involved. There's too many conflicting stories for this to be an accident. But he has to defend the white people and stay on code with them. Exactly. But you know what? And yes, he does probably, as an officer, I would think he would be able to at least recognize that there's a possibility of foul play. But the way he's windmilling for them, it's so obvious. It's so obvious. You know what I'm saying? Hold on just a second.
Taking polygraphs.
Well, from my understanding, all but I believe one took a polygraph, and from what was told to me, that they all passed. And all of the ones that took a polygraph took one without a lawyer. And so, and they cooperated with law enforcement. So from my understanding, everybody took a
Why do you say
polygraph
that's
test
from
but
what
one.
you understand? Did they tell you they took a poly and
They
passed?
told yes, ma'am. They told me that they did it. I wasn't there, so that's what I'm saying. From my understanding, they told me that all the boys except one, which is Warren, I believe, took a polygraph test. All of them did not have lawyers and did it and cooperated with police. Warren also cooperated with police. I just believe he didn't take a lot to take the test, but Warren is the young man that I interviewed. So according to what they told me, they all took a lot of tech tests and passed. And it's an equivalent of a lot of tech tests. It's not a traditional lot of tech test, but it's the same theology of trying to get to if a person is lying. I don't know the name of it. It's
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just talking and the mute button was on. He's sitting up here just windmilling and don't even know he don't know the difference between a polygraph test or any kind of test. He's just up there saying whatever then people want to hear. And Nancy Grace got in that ass. Pilot J says, hey, Mickey, I have a question for you and your audience. We all see signs of a botched case. Power, affluent families, sheriff, DA, coroner, Marine Patrol, Coast Guard, medical examiner, and governor. Yeah, I agree. That is exactly what it is. Everything on the top of the food chain, and it's been like that for the longest in Mississippi, especially. So it shouldn't surprise anybody in this country, for that matter, that there's going to be some skepticism just by the way the guys moved. You know, when them white boys moved, when they came back home and he wasn't with them, their movements reeked of secrecy. Then you've got this phone. This is the thing that kills me. He's got Nolan's phone and doesn't bother to mention to Nolan's mother that he has Nolan's phone. He should be in jail for that alone. The other dude had Nolan's keys, made no attempt to let that woman know that he had his keys, even after they knew that he was missing. But you've got his keys and didn't make no move to try to assist. It's almost like they were being bothered by having to get up out of their beds to help the parents because you've got my son's phone and you've got my son's keys. They should have been ushered down to the police station right then and there. That's tampering with evidence. There's a missing person and you have his property. And you're the last one to have been seen with him alive. Looks suspicious to everybody. I know I'm not the only one. Man, it's ridiculous. We supposed to just sit back and take it like it ain't nothing. Okay, hold on. Mel Gilliam says can't arrest someone for a phone on someone that isn't missing yet. Actually, he had already contacted the mother and was asking the mother where is her son. He didn't tell her at that time that he had the phone. So technically he was missing. See what I'm saying? Technically he was missing. He's calling the mom because he's calling to try to find out from her where her son is. And he has the phone. But he didn't bother to tell her that. That looks very suspicious. Pilot J says, what do you all see as the outcome? I see he was meant to change our people the way Emmett Till in the 1950s helped start the civil rights movement. The case is closed already, I'm sorry to say. Which case? You talking about Emmett Till's case? Or this case? This case isn't closed yet. Are you talking about Emmett Till's case, sweetie? Because Emmett's case was that was a big catalyst to start off the civil rights movement. And it did quite a bit of it, but it seems like we've kind of gone backwards since then. Too many shenanigans. And half of them shenanigans are sitting up in that White House. People done got comfortable with this kind of behavior because of who's sitting in the White House. Hold on just a second. Let me start this back up. Come on.
It's an equivalent of a lot of technical tests. It's a different methodology. I don't believe it was a polygraph test. I believe they took.
Now, you heard what Nancy Grace said.
Exactly,
it wasn't a polygraph test. It was something that was subsequently equivalent to a lie detector test, but it wasn't a polygraph test. So this is what I'm saying about Officer Tatum. Officer Tatum gets mixed up in his words because this guy is going to bat for these people knowing that it's foul play. And Nancy Grace knows there's some suspicion in what's going on.
Absolutely.
In order for Nancy Grace to come out of nowhere and start speaking, you know it's some foul play somewhere. And Officer Tatum has done this, and Officer Tatum will tell you that he does not like black folks. He only likes black folks of his kind that are conservative. So let's listen to what D.L. Hewley had to say about him, because D.L. Hewley completely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, D.L. D.L. tore him a new ass. I have the video, but I think I'm going to let it play from here instead of just trying to find it. Hold on just a second. I may have to let it ride. Huh. Okay, yeah, I'm going to have to pull it up because something's wrong with this video. Yeah. DL. Oh my goodness. DL tore him a new arse. A brand new arse. Hold on. Okay, hold on before I get started. Satin says, I strongly want to believe in my thoughts, and that is somebody's going to break. Remember, Ben Crump is playing chess, not checkers. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking, that the pressure is going to get really heavy. That's what I'm hoping for. Pilot J says, I mean, this case is botched already. The fix is in. When I say the case is closed, I mean 12/15 jurors on the grand jury are not going to take this case to trial and indict anyone. In my opinion, the fix is in. You know what? You very well could be right, sweetheart. Nothing surprises me at this point. It really doesn't. But I'm putting a lot of faith in Ben Crump because Ben Crump really is playing chess. You know what I'm saying? And, they may be able to move it to another county. But either way, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Hold on just a second. Milligan says, really? Because who is sitting in the White House? Republicans, the ones who freed slaves and voted for civil rights, not Democrats who had slaves and created the KKK. And I don't want for civil rights. Okay, first of all, if you check the history on the Republicans and Democrats became Republicans and vice versa because of the releasing of slavery. So people get that twisted. Yes, they were Democrats when they were released, but they swapped over and they swapped places. We'll put it like that. They swapped names, but their ideals stayed the same. So Republicans technically, yes, released. But if you look deeper into that, they swapped sides, so to speak. And it's not a myth, sweetheart. It's not a myth. But you're free to have your opinion. I mean, everybody's free to have their opinion. TTU 8K says Officer T is married to a white woman. That's why he's on those boys' side. Also called the mother a liar at the beginning. I know. Have y'all seen that thing he married? Ooh-wee. Poor thing. Self-hatred is real, isn't it? No, it's not a myth. It is not a myth. It's not a myth, sweetheart. It really isn't. But again, we can agree to disagree. Okay? Hold on just a second, sweetie. Let me play this for you. I love this one. I love this video.
This is Brandon Tatum.
Y'all just see what unfunny ex-comedian D.L. Hughley just said about me. Posted a picture of me and my wife. To do what? To be a racist?
Your name is, your moniker is Officer Tatum, not Detective Tatum. You didn't make your way to detective. You're an influencer who says what white people want you to say.
Why are you talking about me? You need to be worried about your own household. A white man didn't cheat on your wife. A white man didn't abuse your daughter. A white boy, I'd say. And a white man didn't take the life of your infant child whom you had out of wedlock while you were married. These are all black people doing this.
What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with the racial situation of this country? You bozo. Good grief. Like white men don't cheat. Or white men don't do this. White men don't do that. Oh, he trying to step on his nerves because of his own personal issues in his family. At least he still has his wife. At least his wife don't look like something plucked out of the middle of a cornfield. Getting plastic surgery, getting them lips done. You need to fix that upper lip that you gave her, by the way.
And yet you cry about white people every day of the week. I want to tell you guys about Shenergy. If you're looking for an energy drink that's clean, 75 milligrams of caffeine, nootropics that help you with focus so you don't crash and have all that crazy stuff in your drinks. You don't need to do that. That's over time that's going to destroy you. But we didn't just create an energy drink because we care about your overall energy and health. So we created an energy drink and a night drink. One that helps you go to sleep, wake up with energy, and the other one gives you sustainable energy throughout the day. So if you're looking for a company that agrees with your values, American-based, American-made, American customer service, look no further. ShenergyLife.com has you covered. And then we have a money-back guarantee. You take the product that don't work for you, we'll get your money back. All right, let's get to D.L. Hughley. Look at this sorry, big forehead. Need some oil on that freaking canvas he got on top of his head.
Don't hate.
He need to take his sunglasses off, but he need to have his sunglasses on so he can look at his teleprompter so he can talk trash to me. First of all, D.L. Hughley is not on my level.
Talk trash back.
One point in time, D.L. Hughley used to be the man. At one point in time, I used to like D.L. Hughley and I thought he was funny. Now he was not even the top 5 in the Kings of Comedy, in my opinion. But I thought I respected his game. Just to grow up and realize D.L. Hughley is a simp and he's a beta and he's a crybaby.
He's so jealous.
Allegedly worth $10 million, but he's still crying about the white man every day. And he crying about the white man, yet he worked for white men companies. The one he worked for now is the CEO. I think it's run by black people, but there's also white people in C-suite positions in that company. It's not an all-black company.
So?
Black. He's so black that he don't even care about black women enough to not cheat on his wife. He posted a picture of my wife. At least I ain't cheating on my wife.
How do we know that?
He cheated on his wife, got an outside baby. And a very unfortunate situation happened with his outside baby. And he wanted to come at me when he wasn't even there to protect his children. Then his young daughter gets into a sexual situation with a minor, where they both were minors. And she came to her dad in confidence, her black father, in confidence, and said she was being abused and he didn't believe her. Brother, why are you talking about me? I'm finna play the clip for y'all. Why are you talking about me? You need to be worried about your own household. And let's put that in position, or put that in perspective.
So butthurt.
All the drama I just mentioned with his inner family ain't not.
He is so butthurt. And you're the boy who cried wolf. For real. Devon said, Doe has money to sue him blind. Dude would have to sell his house to pay. Exactly. He need to be careful because he's operating off. Well, he is getting paid by who was that? The Charlie Kirk people. He is getting paid by them because he windmills for them too. Oh, David said D.L. Hughley is softer than chewed bubble gum. Well, at least D.L. has got some money. He can chew all the bubble gum he want, huh? It's amazing people got shit to say about the rich people, the rich black people. Broke one over here talking shit. That's hilarious. But he still can't out-roast DL.
Now one of the suspects in that situation, white. A white man didn't cheat on your wife.
What does that have
A white man didn't abuse your daughter.
What does that
have? A white boy, I'd say.
Yes.
And a white man didn't take the life of your infant child whom you had out of wedlock while you were married. These are all black people doing this.
I wonder if it was a white person that's the reason why he ain't a police officer no more. Ooh. Okay, David said, as usual, black people begging poor white people to be racist because what would they do if they couldn't play the victims? They don't have to play the victims. In this country, they actually were the victims. There is no playing here. This ain't a joke. This ain't a game. But you're entitled to your opinion. Okay? Vaughn says he Tatum problem treats his wife like crap. DL gonna bust him wide open. That's hilarious. It's hilarious. But yeah, 6 years on the police force and suddenly you leave to go to YouTube. Talk about it. Why are you not a police officer anymore since you digging up the past on people? We talking about a situation that's going on right now that ain't got nothing to do with one person's personal issues. This is a nationwide issue. And you wanna talk shit below the gut, but that's okay. Go ahead, cause you done picked the wrong one. If you want to go toe for toe roasting,
And yet you cry about white people every day of the week. Listen to what this fool said about me, and I'm gonna critique it as we go. Roll it.
This is Brandon Tatum.
Did y'all just see what unfunny ex-comedian D.L. Hughley just said about me? Posted a picture of me and my wife. To do what? To be a racist? You are the lamest dude in all of comedy.
What is more lame than calling yourself the job you used to have? You're not an officer anymore.
Pause,
you were a
time out.
football.
It's called a moniker. People consider me as Officer Tatum because I became famous as Officer Tatum.
but you're not an officer
And
anymore.
D.L. Hughley, that's your stage name. You still going by your stage name, Negro. You ain't even a comedian no more, passing out on stage and stuff. You ain't even funny no more. But you going by D.L. Hughley. So people want to consider to call me the Officer Tatum or Officer Tatum.
Turning point.
I'm fine with that.
Thank you. That's what
It's called a brand. Roll the clip.
A player who failed at being a football player. You didn't make the team, so you became an officer. That wasn't working out, so you became an influencer.
Time
you
out.
talked about it.
He said, I didn't make the team, or I didn't make it to the NFL. Okay, I don't think that's anything somebody can be sad about. And I'm also glad I don't have CTE either, so it's not all bad. And D.L. Hughley, somebody told me you were 5'6" or something.
So
you would never make it to. You won't even make it to college. You were in high school. Little beta male talking about it.
No football.
Then I became a cop. What did I do as a cop? I protected black people with my life. D.L. Hughley is telling jokes. You better sit your butt down. Let him finish.
Emotion. What is more emotional than this?
The word.
You cried for a white dude who the people didn't even think you worthy to speak at his funeral. You said you wouldn't cry for your son, but you cried for him. That's not emotion.
Time out. Lies. First and foremost, I did cry when Charlie died, and I could have cut the feed off, and so nobody could ever see me cry.
And he booed too.
But it was an emotional thing when your friend gets assassinated and his neck blows out and there's blood gushing out of his neck in front of the world. That's traumatic. And he was a good dude. That's why emotions came out. And I was really thinking the reason I started crying was more about his kids.
Man.
As soon as I thought about his kid, it just hit me. I thought about his little kids, and it was just sad. He's just a young man. And
But now, didn't he say he wouldn't cry for his own son? But you'll cry for. You'll cry for that white man's children, but you wouldn't cry for your own son. That's interesting. I mean, I would cry for any child. Truthfully, I wouldn't even say I would never cry for my own child. We know how to vet each other. There are many good black people out here. Absolutely. Absolutely. Exactly. And to be truthful, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't know who the hell Charlie Kirk was until he was assassinated. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, who? That's sad. I mean, I'm sorry to hear. I hate to see anybody assassinated like that. Didn't matter what color he was. I didn't appreciate what he stood for, but he's still a human being. You know what I mean? And I guess that's the difference between us and them. We don't just, oh, well, he was black, so what? Man, please. Everybody deserves to live, whether they're black or white. But I didn't know who Charlie Kirk was. I ain't gonna lie. Let me get this back up.
His 30s, getting assassinated. But see, y'all fools crying for low-life drug dealers who get killed by the police. At least Charlie was honorable.
Low-life.
At least Charlie was a man of God. At least Charlie was blameless.
Charlie was blameless? Wasn't he racist? That's what I heard. Maybe I'm wrong. Put a 1 in the chat if Charlie was racist. Because I really never looked into Charlie Kirk. I wasn't even interested. Honestly, I wasn't that interested. I wasn't that vested in Charlie Kirk. But if he was racist, put a 1 in the chat. I'm just curious. Oh, okay. I got a 1 in here. But that doesn't surprise me about, King Coon here. He'll cry over a white man dying, but he'll spit on the black man dying. Wow. That's pretty cold. That's pretty cold. Let me get this going again.
Charlie didn't cheat on his wife like you cheating on your wife. Okay, let him finish.
Talked of the way Benjamin Crump talks.
Just want to blame white folks. And so I go out there because I know that lame Al Sharpton and Mr. I can't read Benjamin Crump is just race hustling, y'all.
You talked about how those boys are innocent. You had proof. Now, I don't know whether they're innocent or not. I don't know what happened there. But I know one conversation with a failed football player.
And you know what? That's the best thing to say. If you don't know, you don't just assume just because they're white that they're innocent. Tell the truth. We don't know. We have to wait for the final stuff to come out, the testing and stuff to come out. But because this is such a high profile place, such as Mississippi, hi Q-Rob, it's such a high profile racist place over the decades and how things have been done in the past. Of course, black people are going to side eye when things are not done the same way for black people as they are for white people. That's a common reaction. I don't understand what the big, I don't know why he's so surprised.
And a social media influencer is not the predicate. You don't have any toxicology report. You don't have an autopsy report. You talked about black people acting a fool.
Okay, let's get to this. This fool say, I don't know the truth, but you are not a failed dude. I investigated crimes for a living. Wow. Okay.
You still
and I didn't say they were innocent or guilty. I let them talk, and
he talking about what he did for a living, past tense. Why are you not doing it anymore? That's my question. You want me? Maybe you did. Who knows? But isn't it odd that one would give up a career in law enforcement to become a YouTuber? I mean, for real. And you're a big dude. He made more money on social media. You think so? Social media ain't as it's not as profitable as you might think, especially in the beginning. Now, I'm sure he's making a bag now because of all the attention that he's got coming toward him. But for the most part, his money's been coming from Turning Point, not social media. Now, YouTube, Google, they pay you, but they don't pay that long money. Google lists his assets over $1 million. Well, yeah, Turning Point, it pays well. Racist platforms pay well. But Turning Point is not YouTube. That's all I'm saying. He doesn't work for just YouTube. He works for Turning Point as well.
Evidence that they presented put them in a position where they weren't even there when Nolan died. So what do you think they did? You think they're guilty just because they were his friends? They weren't there. They have video. They have Life 360. They got GPS coordinates. They showed us video of them leaving the island, getting towed out. Testimony from multiple people. They were not there. But you don't care about what happened to Nolan like I do.
What multiple?
You just want the white boys to be wrong.
Wait, did you guys hear of any multiple people that said that they weren't there? I didn't hear that part. Can you guys enlighten me? Did some other people come out and say something, give names and whatnot? I did hear that 2 more people came out just a couple days ago, said that, that they saw him on the island at about 6 o'clock. That's what, but conveniently this late in the game? Okay.
So it can feed your ego. Roll the clip.
Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that took 31 years and 3 trials to prosecute and find guilty the murder of Medgar Evers. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that in 2005 found 215 black people that were dead and buried in a pauper's grave and nobody knew they were there. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that just killed a 1-year-old boy and nobody's being brought to account about. Black people are right to be suspicious of.
Pause. Roll that back, bro. What did that article say? Roll it back. Play it.
Buried in a pauper's grave and nobody knew they were there. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that just killed a 1-year-old.
Pause. I can't read because the letters there. It says involved in a fatal shooting of 1-year-old was once accused of.
Is this the one about the
exaggerate? What did it say? Exaggerating threat posed by a car.
Was by a car.
What's the person up there what's the name above his words? Is that said Miss? Did it say Mississippi cop or Mississippi man?
Mississippi woman, I believe. No, a baby was shot. Okay. Oh, the mother.
Let's play it.
I don't know.
Oh boy, and nobody's being brought to.
Oh, Mississippi officer. Yeah, you know the funny thing is, bro, and I probably remember this situation. There is no way in the world that the officer just killed a 1-year-old.
Actually,
but this how stupid these Negroes are.
No, we're gonna stop right here. Perfect time, stupid Negro, because you the one in this case. I saw the tape, and they shot this baby in the car after the mother was showing the officer, hey, because the officer's chasing her down out of Walgreens behind some diapers that he thought she stole, and ended up shooting the baby after seeing that she had a baby in the car. Come on now. Diapers? Wow. And people can rock with that. He can rock with that and justify it. That's not justifiable. I'm sorry. Very messed up. Very, very messed up, Carl Snow.
You stupid enough to say they just walked and killed a 1-year-old. That's why y'all ain't never gonna be nothing, man.
See the video?
And I'm not talking about every black person because there's smart ones like me. I'm talking about you ignorant Negroes. They killed a black kid and the 1-year-old, nobody know about it. You go and look that up. It probably was an officer involved situation. Matter of fact, look it up for me.
I saw the video. Now, who's stupid? You the one stupid speaking on something that you don't even know about. Oh, it was probably. Jesus.
I mean, two things I want y'all to look up for me. How many black people have been murdered by black people in Mississippi in the last 10 years? And then we'll look up some circumstances around this Mississippi officer.
Why don't you look up how many white people have been killed by white people while you looking up shit? Come on, man. Nobody said either race is perfect, but come on, don't act like one is a set of animals and the other isn't. Because now you're looking stupid. Hold on, where's the button? Here.
And Grant's going to do that for me, and I'll get back to you guys on the rest of it. Roll the clip.
Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that has been poisoning black people with the water since the 1960s. Black people didn't look for this fight. They want justice. All they want is accountability. And if it's those boys, it should be that. Nobody has a predetermined notion. I don't know what happened. But if you're saying that that Al Sharpton and that Benjamin Crump are on one side, you're certainly on the other. You talk to them for 2 days and now all of a sudden you know if they're guilty. You know if they're innocent. You know that. Your name is...
Time out. I saw video and testimony and GPS, and there y'all see the CETO phone call. All of these things are evidence that they were not there. How do you blame somebody for killing a person when they weren't there when the person died?
Not prove they weren't there.
Nobody's saying nobody guilty, innocent. I don't know what happened.
You are saying
y'all colored Neanderthals are mad at me.
You don't understand what he don't
because I interviewed somebody.
He doesn't even understand what he's saying. He just contradicted himself. This is how retarded this man is. Pick a side and stick with it. Because now you just played double dutch. Man.
And I tried to interview black folks, but they don't want to talk to me.
Why?
But then I interviewed Tristan.
I wonder why. That's a good question. Why would black folks want to talk to you, Captain Coon? Why the hell would black folks want to talk to you? That's like going straight over there to the whatever the main KKK person is and say, "Hey man, can I sit down and have lunch with you? I'll let you fix the food." Man, please. Why would any black person want to sit down with you? Good grief. You're spewing all this nonsense, and then you go, let me shut up.
The young black boy, and y'all don't even count him. I guess he's not black enough for y'all.
Who?
You usually interview white boys. What about the black kid I interviewed? Oh, okay, he don't count. Oh, yeah, I don't want to count him.
He does count.
Because he ain't the right black. He got to be a black man being stupid. All right, let's look at some stats real quick because DL Stewhead Hughley and these other dumb, ignorant Negroes, low vibration Negroes.
You see what I'm talking about?
This is what it says.
Why would anybody want to sit down?
And how long? What time period is this?
His ass.
2015 to 2024, about a 10-year period. 3,000 to 3,500 black Mississippians were killed by black offenders. This mother said 3 scenarios, didn't he? Make sure that's right. He gave 3 stories of alleged impropriety. That's it.
I still wonder why he left the police force. I still wonder why he left the police force. He don't talk about it, do he? I mean, nobody's perfect. Nobody's expecting anybody to be perfect. But there's a little piece of history that hasn't been divulged yet. But that's okay. You go ahead and do your thing, boo. Do your thing.
Like a high number. But he gave 3 stories of impropriety spanning over, I don't know, 30, 40 years. Just in 10 years,
Called
there's 3,000.
They're called examples. In other words, he doesn't have the time to sit there and name each and every impropriety that you're speaking of or he was speaking of. You ain't got that kind of time, brother.
The 3,500 black people killed by other black people. You tell me what, like when y'all talk about historical context, when you stupid, all that stuff makes sense to you.
See, this is why he's not going to make it. This is why he's not going to make it, because he has to resort to insults above his content. Ronald said, "I'm white. I can't stand office. I can't stand officer." Oh, officer. Officer Tatum, my bad. It took me a minute to grasp that one. He actually has a video talking about why he left. Is it online, Camille? Is it online, sweetheart? He already made it. He already made the video, Tina K? No, he is being insulted. Yeah, and he's insulting as well. He's insulting as well. People need to wait for the investigation to end. So sad. I agree, Robert. I really do. I agree. I agree. That's what it all boils down to. Justice for Nolan. And take it from there. Once the decision is made. But let's be real. Sometimes we have to take into consideration some things that may not happen the same way they should happen. Because sometimes history repeats itself more than we like. Tatum has over 3 million subscribers. And that's sad. That means we have at least 3 million racists running around out there. Wow.
All that stuff makes sense to you. Yeah. See, historical injustice. But yet, black people kill way more black people than in this injustice y'all talking about. You can't even give me 5 stories in the last 10 years. And we got 3,500 black people that have been killed by other black people. So if you want to play the historical injustice math,
how many white people?
It's fair to believe that a black man could be killed by another black man. How you know?
How many white people have been killed by white people? This ain't no race. David said, he said it in caps too. David said, this Nolan chaos is going to be bigger than OJ. I hope not, though. I really hope not. I think, once those verdicts come out, I won't say verdicts, once the information comes out, if it comes out valid, you know what I'm saying? Meaning on the up and up, no shenanigans. I think that'll bring things down. Hi, Mr. Phillips. Might be a week or more until it's done. People should be thankful they aren't rushing to find answers. Absolutely. I think, well, there were answers that could have been answered, but based on the behavior of Mississippi, they kind of did one of those, I'm going to take my ball home and you can't play with my ball. Because pathologists, even when there's 2 different pathologists running tests on a particular individual, you would think that they would be working together in conjunction with one another, not taking pieces and hiding them from themselves. You know what I'm saying? It looks deceptive. I'll put it like that. It looks very deceptive. His name calling and dismissal of people who are smarter, more accomplished, and more experienced than he is an intimidation tactic. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, let me see how much more I got from this JoJo.
Oh, the black kids that were out there with Nolan had nothing to do with it. Black people come across as stupider than anybody else, disproportionately.
Wow.
Why do you say that, Brandon? Because you got somebody like D.L. Hughley worth $10 million and he's still complaining and being racist against white people every day.
And
why?
Excuse.
Why? If there was a white guy on a radio show like D.L. Hughley in reverse, he'd be sitting there crying about him. But yet, you get to blame white people with no evidence.
There are people like that.
All right, come on. Let it finish.
Online.
Your moniker is Officer Tatum, not Detective Tatum.
Look at this.
You didn't make your way to detective.
Pause. Hey, Stewhead. Officers do investigations. I don't know if you understand how police work, but just because you're not doing detective work full time don't mean you're not an investigator.
Hey, Carmella.
I still had to conduct investigations. I still had to write case reports. I still had to interview people and get to the bottom of murders. I just didn't do the forensic side of it. But as far as talking to murderers, getting written statements from them, I still had to do it. I still have to testify in court on my involvement.
And what happened?
I still had to chase them down. I still had to put my hands on them. I still had to use force on them.
And what happened?
I wrote thousands of case reports. They're called investigations. DL?
Absolutely.
What are you saying?
His ass up, didn't she?
Detective work and police work is just a slight step in full-time detective work and no patrol work. That's the only difference. Well, I can say that's the major difference. Me being a detective or not is irrelevant to understanding how to investigate crimes.
Him being an influencer who says what white people want you to say. And don't you find it interesting that they chose to speak to you, and they chose to speak to you for the same reason that you're a conservative, for the same reason Turning Point did, because you're safe. They know you're a black man who'll do what he's told. You're an unremarkable black man who they know they can count on to be obedient. They pick you for the same reason they pick dogs. What is very interesting to me is this is Nancy Grace.
I left to believe that he goes out swimming all on his own and the friend girl leaves, the mates from school leave, everybody just leaves him out in the water and he dies.
Now, Nancy Grace is a career prosecutor. She has tried 100 felony trials, 100, and not lost one. And she thinks that's something suspicious.
Oh, he ain't got no smoke for that, though. He don't have no smoke for that. Amazing. Let's see. Estelle Martin said this guy is not bright at all. He's well suited to the MAGA group. Absolutely. Okay, Massa, you just tell me what to say and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Robert said, Nancy is lying. What happened to her? Just crazy-eyed. Shame on you, Robert. She is kind of crazy looking, but I got to give her props. She knows her game. She knows her game. She knows what she's doing. He has no soul, sister. Y'all is clowning in the chat. Oh, okay. Mentally Me says, I consider myself MAGA. I love my country. I love Black America, White America, Asian America, Native America. I love Americans and not foreigners that are hurting Americans. Amen. God bless you. I bet you thought Jussie Smollett was telling the truth. I didn't know either way, sweetheart. I had my doubts, I will say. Now that I think about it, I did have my doubts. Let's see. Let me just say this. I've heard no one say anything about how the friend called the mom. How did he get her phone number? That's a good one. That's a good one. How did he get her phone number? How did he get her phone number? Interesting. Abdullah the Butcher says, right, it's about justice. At the end of the day, that's pretty much it. Don't drink the water. Now I heard something about the water is bad down there. I didn't know about that. I've never heard that. So if anybody can enlighten me in the chat, I've never heard about that. Because the water's kind of gross all over the place lately. I ain't gonna lie. I'll stick with my bottled water. Thank you. Oh, I missed Robert. Robert said, yeah, I know, but Nancy needs some meds. She do be. Leave Nancy alone. She can't help it. Ooh, she be looking real crazy. Yes. Okay, a metaphor. Don't drink the water. Well, because I'm asking because I heard earlier today someone said something about the water was bad in Mississippi. Yeah, Mr. Phillips just said it too. Somebody said it on the news. So, and because I had never heard that before, I thought maybe someone else might be able to enlighten me. But here, let's hurry up with this one so we can move on. Where's the button?
About white people bad, but you want to find the first one you find white person. Now, I'll respect the Nancy Grace, but I went on her show and I gave context.
And she caught you in a lie.
Nancy Grace statements that you played was from before she had any context about what happened. To say that the girl and all the friends left him on the island and he died, that's without context.
He ain't talking about that lie she caught him in, though. Excuse me. He ain't talking about that. Ronald said, my brother was police investigator. He had to complete a 3-month class in D.C. with the FBI. Ronald, is he still a police investigator? How long has he been doing? If he has, how long has he been on the force? What does he do? Thank you. The first time someone mentions my comment. Oh, bless your heart. I try to keep up with all of them, Edwin. Sometimes I miss some. The chat gets a little fast for me. Okay, I missed Cheerleader up here. Cheerleader said, excuse me, but MAGA people are very prejudiced, and that Jesse Smollett comment didn't have to slide. He was totally being smart. See, I didn't understand. I didn't know that. What is the connection with Jesse Smollett and MAGA? Can you tell me? Because I didn't know. If you could tell me, Cheerleader. Let me read it again. I want to make sure I understand what you said. Excuse me, but MAGA people are very prejudiced, and that Jesse Smollett comment didn't have to slide. He was totally being smart. Okay, so was he referring to Jesse Smollett being gay or black or both? Well, maybe that was the case. That wasn't very nice if that's the case. See, we don't want to come in here and be disrespectful to other people. We're not going to have that. Okay. Well, we shouldn't be doing that up in here, you guys. When you guys come in here, I don't care if you maggot or not maggot. I'm not calling y'all maggots because I know somebody that we call maggot as a person. So I'm not referring to you guys as maggots. But if you're MAGA and you come in here, see, I'm not MAGA, okay? But I'm allowing y'all to come up on my platform and, give your perspective. But I will not allow you to come in here and be disrespectful to the others that are in here. Based on what they are versus what you may be, okay? That's just like Officer Tatum. Officer Tatum is being scrutinized because he's being hateful. as a black man, hateful against other black people. That's the scrutiny up in here. Ooh, I can barely read this. Let's see. As a white guy, I like the Officer Tatum, but you can't admit that he was wrong. These kids know what happened, and I think that's pretty obvious. Somebody's going to prison. And again, people, that's basically what I'm saying. You know, his beliefs are one thing. He can kick rocks on that. But even if I was on that side of the pole, just based on the movements of those kids and their families, it looked very, very suspicious. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm saying. Okay. Devon says, I hear Mississippi considers themselves separate from the rest of the country. I think they do laws differently because they want to still practice old ways. Well, they better get on the good foot because they're part of this country. They're part of this country. You can't be separate but equal. Not in here. That ain't gonna fly. Okay, Officer Tatum needs to just admit that he was wrong and these kids know what happened. I agree. But again, it would also be fair to just, give this a little bit more time for the test to come out, and then we can make our decision at that point. Because it's gotten very volatile. It's become a situation where it's getting away from the actual topic at hand. Did they do something? Because my first impression, to be honest with you, my first impression was that they knew something happened. My first impression wasn't that they did something to him. My impression was that they knew something had happened to him and was scared to say something about it. That's all I'm saying. Okay, Ronald said he retired after 20 years, police officer, investigator, day, night detective, the 20 years Mississippi Gaming Commission. Oh, cool. Cool. And he retired, huh? That's wonderful. Okay. I thought at first those kids didn't have nothing to do with it, but it's more and more coming out. Them kids need to go to jail. Somebody need to go to jail. They know what happened. Well, the reason I thought that they needed to go to jail was breaking the law right off the giddy up. If you're holding on to this guy's phone without telling the mother that you have his phone is actually tampering with evidence. You see what I'm saying? So that's cause right there to go to jail. And let's be real, if the shoes were on the other foot, they'd be marching them three brothers down there quick, fast, and in a hurry. Let's see. Seen by two imaginary exit. Now that's weird, isn't it? Two all of a sudden popped up imaginary witnesses. Yeah, that looks weird. That looks suspect. Okay. Robert Blake says wrong. You have a prejudice because they are white. No tampering. Yeah, I have a prejudice that they're white, that they're getting away with something that they shouldn't. That's my prejudice. Absolutely, you're 100% correct. Yes, that's what I think too. You're right. Okay. Okay, I already pulled that one up. Hi, Catherine Powell. How are you, sweetie? Okay, we're going to move on. Let me cut this one off because he gives me a headache. Okay, so last but not least, we're going to take a look at Trent Out Loud. He went on TMZ. Oh, okay, Robert. Well, because I'm willing to admit where I'm prejudiced. I'm prejudiced about mistreatment of people based on their color. That's what I'm prejudiced about. So, You know, I mean, I ain't gonna act like I'm not human. I have reason to have prejudices on some things, you know. I happen to be biracial, so I can see both sides of the coin, one more so than the other. No, I don't think that mistreating white people is okay. And I definitely don't think mistreating black people are okay. So, no, I don't think it's okay to treat anybody wrong, to be honest with you. But if they do mistreat, then I believe that they need to be dealt with. Because there is a history of people that are mistreating other people based on the fact that, number one, they can get away with it because of the color of their skin, and they do it to people who can't get away with it because of the color of their skin. Okay. Most people that are biracial consider themselves black. Absolutely. Absolutely. Would you like to know why I consider myself black? I'll give you my history. I don't have a problem telling you. And I was born during the civil rights movement, by the way. See, my black family is who raised me, not my white family. My mother walked away because I was biracial. And isn't that weird, considering the fact that she laid down with a black man and got pregnant by a black man, but she couldn't stick around to raise the baby she made with him. So who ended up raising that baby? Yes, I can see both sides of it because I look white, but I was raised black. So yes, I can see both sides of it. But I can tell you exactly what my experience was. And yes, I am black and proud about it because that's what I was raised to be. I was also raised to be compassionate for people because black people are a compassionate people, despite how we're treated. I don't have all night to give you my whole story, but trust and believe, I know both sides of the coin. Eddie says, why do white people always try to dodge the truth? I don't know. I don't know. And I won't say all white people are like that. Camille said, wait, I missed it. Check your email. I sent you the video of him explaining why he resigned. Oh, okay. I'll check that out. I can't do it right now during the live, but I'll check it out. Thank you, love. Oh, you know what, Cola? I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping about it, sweetheart. Hey, you know, people are going to be the way they want to be, you know, and that's them. That's me. They don't pay my bills. I don't pay theirs. So, you know, it is what it is. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play this video for you guys. If you would hold on just a second. Okay, give me just a second. Okay. I got to get some new glasses.
Before I start dragging Harvey and TMZ, I would like to give them credit for one thing. Shout outs to you guys for having me on the show. As they know, and many of you might know, I drag TMZ almost every day on this channel. I pretty much talk very unfavorable of them, and I'm very critical of them and the reporting. But regardless of that, they had me on yesterday to say my piece, and that you have to respect. Now, with that out the way, let me tell you how things went down, okay? And I have the clips to show you. It is on their website right now. You can see it was posted yesterday, but I'll show you clips of it right now. It's 10 minutes. I brought it down to around like 2 minutes. They started talking about, of course, the autopsy. They started talking about Ben Crump and Judge Ashley Nicole. I'll tell you guys about that, how Warren's dad is suing Benjamin Crump for defamation, and how Judge Ashley Nicole reported that somebody was threatening her and that person has gotten arrested. So I was brought on to say my opinion of that. Now, as we got into my opinion, I pointed out, and you'll see, I pointed out the fact that I find it very ironic that a white woman, a white judge in Mississippi says, oh my gosh, I've been threatened. And just to be clear, it's not right or fair to threaten anybody, but do you have any idea how many threats Christine has gotten and there has been 0 arrests? You're going to hear me call that out. 1. 2, Harvey, to me, is the most, he says that Nolan was not on that boat. And to me, that is the most shocking thing I've heard him say, or I've heard TMZ write in this whole entire case. How can he have the audacity to say that he can confirm that Nolan was not on that boat? And when I challenge him on that, he says, well, we saw the video that Officer Tatum put out. Former Officer Tatum? You mean Officer Dingbat? That is what you're going on? You're not telling me that a government official, the police, the DA, nobody told you and gave you that confirmation. The investigation is still ongoing, but you want to confirm to me that Nolan was on that boat because of a video that Officer Tatum put out and some pictures? Now, when I challenge him on that fact, and I asked him, how do you know that video that Officer Tatum put out, or former Officer Tatum put out, how do you know that that's real? How do you know that that was taken on July the 4th? How do you know they didn't stage that and they took it when he went out there to record? Because you know that they did go back on that island. I asked him, do you have the date and do you have the metadata? Now, Harvey doubles down and says, yes, we have confirmed the authenticity of it.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was talking and I'm muted. I had to stop the video because this comment on the screen caught me off guard. And I wanted to ask this person, Tommy Antoine. Can you hear me now, you guys? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. And again, I apologize. I apologize that I forgot to unmute. Okay. Tommy Antoine, riddle me this, riddle me that. You said Nolan Wells was on coke and alcohol and drowned in the water. Simple. Tell me, how do you know that? Do you know that to be sure? I mean, is that something that you're privy to that no one else is privy to? Did you sell it to him? Did you sell it to the 3 white boys he was with? I mean, were you there? I mean, honestly, you putting out a statement on here as though you know something for sure. And I hope you're being very careful about some of the things that you're saying in chats, because they're watching. They're watching people. They're watching comments. They're watching content creators. And they're going after people because they can get to you through your ISP. People making comments just like that are being taken to court and sued. They don't care if you got money. They'll take you for whatever you have. Please be careful what you say on this platform, because you can actually put yourself in a bind that your ass can't get you out of. Tommy Antoine. So unless you have personal information that verifies that statement, I suggest you kick rocks. Yes, 2 people have already been arrested. However, Mr. Phillips, let's be real about it. The 2 people that were arrested for comments against the judge. They haven't arrested anybody that's gone after the family. That's not to say it might not happen later. So I hope people don't get too comfortable with some of the disrespectful things that they say on this YouTube platform. You know what I'm saying? And your keyboard, your laptop will not protect you. You are not as anonymous as you think you are. So please be careful, Tommy. Might write yourself a check your ass can't cash. I holla. Let's go.
We have checked the metadata. Then you're going to see, if you look very carefully, he gazes off camera for a split second. I feel like somebody's maybe telling him something. And he goes, well, anything could be possible. So 1 second, excuse me. Did you confirm it? Did you see the metadata? Are you confirming that it was July the 4th? Or are you not confirming, Harvey? I would just like to know. So watch the clip. I'm going to play maybe 30 seconds so that you hear him talking about the threats, or sorry, the lawsuit, and then the threats, and then you'll hear my piece. Watch very, very carefully when he looks off camera and then backtracks on the metadata.
Warren Hudson, specifically his mother, who is a judge, she, we're told, got a lot of threats, specifically from this one man who is known as a Sacramento area man, was arrested.
And there is something else that one of the boys who was friends with his dad.
I'm sorry, Anthony, you said now that the recording and a female voice, who is she? Are you asking who that lady is there on the screen on TMZ? Is that what you're asking? I'm not quite sure what your question, or if this is a question or a statement. Here, I'll start the video back.
Dad talked to the New York Post and said they are considering filing a defamation lawsuit against Ben Crump. What we've kind of concluded based on video that we received is that Nolan was not on that boat, that's the boat at the beginning of the trip back from Horn Island.
Yeah.
And that Nolan is not on that boat, and that's the boat that went into distress a few minutes after leaving Horn Island.
Hey, this is Trent Out Loud, YouTuber. I think the judge
I think that he's going to kind of wish he hadn't said that, because he just made a statement that he can't verify. Melissa says, no one call, there is a female voice. Who is she? Oh, you're talking about on that audio call that they've been talking about, that the distress call? Is that what you're speaking about? I have no idea who that female is. There's so much information out there, it's hard to keep up with a lot of it, but I have no idea who that female is. Free Thought said, to everyone watching or listening, this guy Tommy is a plant and has said this and at least 4 to 6 channels. Are you talking about the guy that was just in here, sweetie? The infamous Katie. I don't know if that. Well, now there's more than one young lady that they were referring to, and they finally showed who the real Katie is. The real Katie is a friend of the family.
And the Benjamin Crump defamation lawsuit is just a distraction. I think it's incredibly telling that a white woman goes out and shows us the threats she's getting, and within days there is an arrest, but there has been zero arrest when it comes to the Nolan Wells case. Do you have any idea how many threats Christine has gotten? How come there's nobody arresting for the people that are threatening her?
Well, no, listen, you first have to determine if there's foul play, right? And I don't know that they've determined that yet. So you don't go out and start arresting people until you know, A, if there's.
Did you see how he sidestepped that question? That has nothing to do with arresting people that are leaving threats. That has nothing to do with what he said. Had nothing to do with the question. You can find those people that are leaving those negative reviews on Christine's job website. Those people can be traced. Absolutely, Global. Absolutely. Those people can be traced. People are literally leaving her crazy emails and just saying all kind of crazy stuff online, and nothing is done. Not one thing is done. That looks pretty biased.
Foul play, and B, who did it. But just because there hasn't been doesn't mean there's not a real investigation behind it.
Agreed. But now let's talk about that picture that you showed up of the boat. We got that picture from Officer Tatum, former Officer Tatum. How do we know when that picture was taken? We have no metadata. We have no proof. How do we know that? And also,
well, no, but what the video? It's not a pic. We're talking about.
Well, he put out pictures and video. But
I know, but the video, we can align the video with the distress call, and he was
that video. Align the video with the distress call. There's no metadata provided to that video. It has nothing to do with the distress call. How can you prove, or when are you guys going to prove when that video was taken? Because what they're standing on right now is that very video he just showed, the one that Tatum provided to them, was taken as they were leaving the island that day. But are we really going to take Tatum's word for anything? Who is he? He is nobody. There's been no metadata taken of that video to verify when it was taken. That video could have been from a week or two ago, for all we know. And they have the capability to find out when that video was taken. Come on, man.
Wasn't on that boat.
Yeah, but Harvey, how do you know? Has former Officer Tatum, has he provided you guys with the metadata? Do you know 100% when that video and those pictures were taken? Can you confirm to me right now that it was taken on July the 4th?
That's what we have concluded based on everything we've looked at, metadata, talking to people, and aligning it with the distress call. Yeah. Now, look, anything is possible. I'm certainly not saying it wasn't foul play, because I don't know. It's just, I think, jumping to conclusions at the beginning and starting to point fingers.
Okay, now, listen. Noni, none of your business. Maybe you wasn't here when I made the ground rules in the beginning. If you're going to come into this chat, you're not going to be disrespecting people. And you're not going to be calling people monkeys, okay? So with that said, you take your stank ass up out of here. I've had enough of y'all with these funky racial remarks or disparaging remarks. See ya. Devon says, These folks making excuses and going in circles. They know darn well this is wrong. Makes me furious. Absolutely. And I can't stand the people that are using this as to make a mockery of everything. They're using this as an excuse to go around and say racial slurs and disparaging things against a certain race, and it's wrong. So that's why I'm letting people know I will boot your ass out of here. I'm not going to hide out in my chat and be a straight up racist. Now, people have prejudices, but come on now. That's more or less more acceptable than being a downright dirty ass racist. Global said the distress call is the most damaging evidence at the time. Yeah, and we do need more real, concrete evidence. Wolfpack said it. When are we going to see some real evidence, not circumstantial? Always said getting a civil rights lawyer instead of a criminal attorney was a bad idea. You know what? Under the circumstances, because of where it's located and the mindset of the people involved, I think that the civil rights portion of it was a good idea as well, because he is fluent in both. But I appreciate your comment. Okay, let me go ahead and
people without really knowing. It may be fair, but what if it's really unfair and you're kind of tarnishing people who really shouldn't be tarnished? Shouldn't that be a concern?
I think if anybody who jumped to conclusions first was the Mississippi officers that jumped to conclusions 1 hour after finding his body and said, no evidence of foul play. They jumped to conclusions, not us.
Well, I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
They just want the truth.
I think that's fair.
To me, it is shocking that a huge platform like TMZ would have the audacity to go on the airwaves and say Nolan was not on that boat. We still have the CETO call to go over. I showed you guys that yesterday in the video I did yesterday. I'll pin it in the comment section. Benjamin Crumb says, yo, they have the audio and they're working with forensic audio engineers. We don't know what was on that call. We heard other audio engineers. We heard content creators. We heard a lot of people bring their variations, but we still have to wait for Benjamin Crumb, and we still, newsflash, have to wait for the police investigation. So the audacity for Harvey to say that, and it goes what I always say about TMZ, they're always caping for the other side. You saw there in that clip, well, the boys have the spotlight on them. Oh, things are hard for the boys. How about Christine and Elmore? How about Nolan's family? How about the fact that Nolan is not here? Now, we don't know who was involved and who was not involved, but no, sorry. I'm not wasting my time feeling sorry for the boys that had Nolan's phone and didn't give it back right away, who didn't call right away, who left Nolan there, and regardless whatever they had their involvement or not, they left him there. You don't go out with your boys, you don't go out with your best friends anywhere and just leave them, much less a secluded island that you can't get off of without a boat. I don't go to the club and leave my friend. If he's, oh, yo, I'm waiting. No, listen, if you meet up with another group of friends that I know, I'll leave you. But no, oh, you met up with a girl, no. And especially, there's reports, and we don't know this yet, but he could have been drinking. That's even more. No, we're not doing that. And these are not big grown men. They're 18 years old. So I could go on forever. You guys have watched my videos before, or some of you must have, or you guys know about the information. We could go on a tangent about the questionable and shady things that those boys have done. And that is why they have the scrutiny that they have. But yes, we don't know their involvement, but there is enough that we could scrutinize them. So TMZ always does this. They're always trying to change the narrative for Joe McCann. Joe McCann.
Global said none of those kids were his friends. I agree with that. I really do agree with, despite the circumstances of whatever went on that night. If he was really your friend, considering that, they said that he elected to stay behind, that's a matter of contention as well. Some are saying that he didn't stay behind, others are saying that he did. Even listening to Warren's interview, if you paid attention, and again, it all depends on the viewer. My take in his interview, the way he spoke of Warren was like Warren was a fifth wheel. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he was a good friend of mine, but he referred to everybody else as his buddies. He didn't refer to Nolan as his buddy. He always referred to him as Nolan, So again, I don't think that they were very good friends. I think that they tolerated Nolan. That's just my own personal opinion. Exactly, Global. I believe that too. Hoodie says, sound like a distraught woman. You talking about Trent out loud? Yeah, that voice was going up pretty high. He was doing the soprano thing. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I kind of agree with you there, Global. William Barth says, you're all clowns, don't know nothing. They've been friends for years, and if a girl was involved, he stayed behind. How goofy. Okay, William, maybe you wasn't here a few minutes ago, so I'm going to tell you the way you just put that in the chat. Let me talk back to you the way that you just spoke in the chat. Take your goofy stank ass up out of here. I'm not going to tolerate any disrespect coming from you or anybody else. So get to stepping, bitch. Now. Shit. Tired of disrespectful keyboard gangsters. The hell up out of here. I apologize, y'all. I'm not tolerating it. If you want to do that on a platform, do that on your own platform. But you're not going to come up in here and disrespect people. Or disrespect my platform. I done said it 3 times already. I'm not going to say it no more. Now I get to be disrespectful in return.
When it comes to Ashley Janae, trying to change the narrative when it comes to Carmelo Anthony. And here with Nolan Wells, it's always the same. It's always the same. And I feel like it's time to call them out for that. It's not just enough I do it here on my channel. It needs to be called out because they are a huge platform and they need to be held accountable. That is my 2 cents. And before I close this section up too, I just want to reiterate, as you guys know, I'm a staunch advocate for Christine. A mom, of course I feel bad for Elmore too, but a mom and her son, that's a different type of bond. Y'all know how close I am with my mother. That is a different type of bond. And for her to have been receiving those kind of threats, and for Ashley Cole, the judge, to have talked about threats and there's an arrest, and Christine, nah, man, we got to ride for Christine, man. And I think it's horrible that the arrests have been made for Ashley Nicole and not for Christine. So I hope Christine sees this. I've been told that the family and some people have been watching my shows. Christine, I hope that you see that even when I am on TMZ, I'm advocating for you, and daily on this channel, I'm advocating for you, and also Elmore. All right, let's go over now. I'm going to talk to you about Warren's dad, the doctor. The nerve of him saying that he wants to sue Ben Crump. Ben Hudson, Warren's father, is accusing Benjamin Crump of pushing a false narrative.
Okay, you guys, put a 1 in the chat if you want to hear about this story. If you're interested in hearing about this. If you want to hear about it, put a 1 in the chat. If I get enough ones, I'll go ahead and play it. If not, if you don't want to hear about it, put a 2 in the chat, and I'll go ahead and end the live. Because I didn't have much left to go anyway. Okay, 1. Okay. Give people a couple more minutes. Okay. I've got 3 1s thus far. I haven't gotten any 2s. I'm just getting 1s. Okay. I'll go ahead and play it. Okay. I'll go ahead and play it.
About his son and others. Hudson says his family plans to sue Crump for defamation and slander. He told the New York Post, in my opinion, Ben Crump has slandered and falsely accused my son, his friends, of Nolan's passing, and he's pursued what's an obvious false narrative. I think he can expect lawsuits, not just from my family, but from a number of other families who, in my opinion, he defamed. Hudson also accused Crump of using the tragedy for financial and political gain. In my opinion, truth is not Benjamin Crump's concern. He's exploiting the situation and raising money. He added, I think this is financially exploiting this entire tragedy and making it a much bigger tragedy at the expense of my family and our community and the Wells family. Really? The Wells family? The Wells family hired Ben Crump. What are you talking about, sir? Crump responded to Hudson's claims saying, it's a distraction. We're not distracted at all by this. Thank you very much. Love that they're just like brushing their shoulders off. Like, listen, we're not even going to waste our time. That's what I say every day on this channel. We are not wasting our time with these silly distractions. Nothing. Where's Nolan's throat? What's going on with the autopsy? We want to wait to hear from Benjamin Crump for the CETO audio. And that is it. Like all of this, oh, we're suing, or we're doing this, the judge, whatever. No, the focus should be on Nolan's parents and Benjamin Crump. I say this every day. And I love that Benjamin Crump is not paying this any attention. Now, let's move on to the next distraction. Judge Ashley Cole. A California man faces a charge after authorities say he sent a message to the judge tied to...
Y'all want to hear about the judge or about the man that got arrested? Hi, Miss Purple. You researched the person that got arrested? Let's see some 1s if you want to see it, 2s if you don't. I'll let y'all rock out if you want to watch it. Got another 1. Another 1. Another 1. Okay, so far I'm getting a lot of 1s. Okay. Wonderful.
Nolan Wells passing. Joseph Dumar was charged with interstate transmission of a threatening communication, carrying up to 5 years in prison. Investigators alleged he used a username, which I'm not going to put out, to threaten Judge Ashley Cole, whose stepson is Warren Hudson, who traveled with Wells before he went missing. The message read, there will be a package coming to your guys' office in the next few days. It's going to blow you away when you see it. Probably best you have the boys with you to see it as well. That's like very disturbing. It goes on and shows you the other threats, which I am not going to read. I don't want to even give this any more attention. More importantly, this man, Joseph, was arrested, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday. And like the article says, faces up to 5 years in prison. Now, I want to make something very, very, very clear. I do not condone any threats. I don't anything at all. No. I am not a fan of Judge Ashley Cole at all. I don't like the fact that she used like what looked like a government judicial letterhead to put out this statement like 2 or 3 days after Nolan's body was found. I do not like that. I feel like it was actually she was breaking the law. I heard there are people looking into her comments. Regardless of all of that,
I didn't know that was against their judicial oath that they're not supposed to comment in any shape, form, or fashion on cases like that. I was not aware of that. So, and apparently she did it. So she should be held accountable for that. Let's see. Vinny said the lady that made a bomb threat looks like Queen Latifah. I know, huh? You know what? You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Now that you mention it, you are absolutely right. I'm waiting for her to come out dancing like living single. Da, 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 Okay, I'm just acting silly now.
Of my thoughts, nobody should be threatened. Having said that, like I said at the top, what about the threats that Elmore has gotten? What about the threats that Christine has gotten? Like, okay, fine, Benjamin Crump and this, whatever, okay, that comes with the territory. They're public figures. How do you feel? How do you think Christine and Elmore feel? They haven't even begun to process the passing of Nolan because they have to do interviews and talk with the DA and do press, whatever, to keep their son's name in the headlines. They have said they cannot even have a moment to process. And then on top of that, they have to deal with threats. Ashley, again, it's wrong, but all you have to deal with is threats and you're on here crying?
I have a question for you guys. This is so far off topic, but I've been meaning to ask people. And all you got to do is put a 1 in the chat if you agree, a 2 in the chat if you disagree. Does Nolan look like Scottie Pippen? Or is it just me? I was looking at him for the last week or so, and it finally hit me this morning. Nolan looks a lot like Scottie Pippen, a younger version of Scottie Pippen. If you agree, put a 1 in the chat. A little, okay. And a 2 if you don't agree. But I was just wondering, I wonder if I'm the only one that sees this. Just curious. Trying to kind of lighten up the conversation too. Okay, where is my arrow? My arrow disappeared. Here we go.
This is really horrible. And like I said, it is just a distraction. Not right. I'm happy they arrested him, but please arrest everybody that is threatening, especially to Nolan Wells' parents. Now, speaking about Nolan Wells' parents, let's move on to an update with the autopsy. Nolan Wells' parents and Benjamin Crump spoke with Don Lemon. I have a little clip, and then, well, actually, I'm going to give you some information first, and then I'll play the clip because the clip has nothing to do with the autopsy. The clip has something to do with Officer Tatum, and I loved what Christine said about Officer Tatum. It's what I've been saying every day. So,
okay, Winston. Come on, man, lighten up. I just asked one small question. We're taking this whole thing seriously. Where have you been? This is serious. I can make an observation. Yeah, he's very good looking. Hold on just a second.
I'm happy that she agrees with me. The state-run autopsy has been officially completed. The findings has been turned over to the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, and the results will remain unreleased, aka sealed from the public, pending a grand jury. It will be presented to the grand jury first before we get any sort of information. Now, I do have a little bit more from that. Shout out to Ben Crump and Don Lemon. The family, Nolan's family and Benjamin Crump will be meeting with the DA next week to talk about the autopsy. Important to note that Christine and Elmore found out that the autopsy was complete from the media in the headlines before the DA even told them. The nerve, the audacity of these people. This is horrible.
Wow.
Something very important that Benjamin Crump said is that the DA can release information to the family if they want to, but they don't know if they will. So we do know we, the public, won't find out.
Okay, Winston, you said so many things you guys miss. I refuse to believe you guys can't see. Why don't you enlighten us and point them out? There's nothing wrong with making an observation. I think that they should have known in advance. I'm upset that the family should know the results first before anyone. I agree. I mean, that's their child. But then I can kind of understand keeping some of that information, close because it's such a controversial investigation. You know what I'm saying? Where did that go? I want that comment. So many things you guys miss. I refuse to believe you guys can't see. Okay. And what are they? What things are we not seeing? Don't be stingy. Share with us. Okay, let me move on.
Really sad, really shady. I would love to know, and I'm sure you all will know. I hope we do find out one day. But it's going to the grand jury, and some of you might differ and think, hey, it should go to the grand jury first. And I see that lens also. I just feel like because this case is so national and so many people are invested and there's so much misinformation, the sooner we get information, the sooner we could concentrate on the facts and receipts. And y'all know how much I love facts and receipts. That's why. But I understand waiting for a grand jury. I see both sides. But the DA can present some of the information, if not all the information, to Nolan's parents. I'm sure you could trust Christine and Elmore and Benjamin Crump. You can make them sign something for them to at least have some sort of reconciling and not keep them in the dark until it goes to the grand jury. Because remember, it can't go to the grand jury until the investigation is complete, and we don't know when that will be. So I hope they get some information, and it has been confirmed that the DA can. We just don't know if she will. It could take 2 days or it could take 2 months. We don't know when the investigation is going to be.
Yeah, Devon, I think that they could have handled this a little better. I really do. But I've heard that they tend to be I don't know, I wouldn't say sloppy in all cases. It's just some cases are sloppier than others, if you know what I mean.
Be done. Don also, Benjamin Crump also highlighted the fact that the second independent autopsy cannot be completed until they get information and pictures from the first autopsy. Especially, well, two things: Nolan's throat, we know the details about that, and the lungs. Now, there's been a lot of speculation of, was the lungs sent to Dr. Roger Mitchell or not? I have confirmed that the lungs have been sent, but the reason why it's almost like he didn't get it, or why some people feel like he didn't get the lungs, is that the lungs have already been dissected, meaning that he doesn't know if there was water in there or not. He doesn't know about the airways. There's things that only a first autopsy can know, and a second autopsy is limited. So we need the remains, the bones of Nolan's throat.
I'm wondering if at least he shared his notes. If he couldn't share the actual tissue or lungs or whatever, did he share his notes? Because in this particular case, you would think that both pathologists would be working together, not against each other. You know what I'm saying? So it would have been helpful to at least do that. Or invite the other pathologists to come down and examine those things, before, he had to bring them back or whatever, but I just think that they could have done better to work together as pathologists working on the same case.
That we also need. And we also need the pictures and the information from the lungs. Very important to note. I feel this is very, very important. Even if it comes back that Nolan drowned, please don't feel like they were right the whole time, because Benjamin Crump really wants us to know that even if he did drown, Roger Mitchell, the doctor who did the second autopsy, asks, how did he drown? Was he unconscious before? Did somebody push him? Whatever. What is the state? So, okay, he drowned. Everyone's going to run with the fact, oh, it was an accidental drowning, case closed. No. Just because you drown doesn't mean that there was no foul play. Doesn't mean that he wasn't held under. Doesn't mean that he was. There could be a million things, and the result of him passing was from drowning. Now, I want to give a little bit more like evidence to that fact. There's been a viral clip going around for the past like couple of days of two friends, totally separate from Nolan Wells' case, but two friends that were on like a pier and they were fighting, grown men, like 50-year-old men. They got into a fight. One pushed the other guy, and it's all caught on camera. He falls down and he hits his head. The guy is unconscious. And then the friend, he's drunk. He doesn't even know what's going on. He takes him and throws him into the water. Now, how did the guy pass away?
I wonder.
They'll do an autopsy and they'll see that he passed away from drowning. But no, it was obviously the guy, and now the guy's been arrested because it was caught on camera. So just because Nolan may have drowned, we still don't know yet. But if he does, we don't know the state he was in before drowning. Just like that guy pushed his friend, he hit his head. And hey, we all know that there was some discoloration on the back of Nolan's head too, right? So let's just not go crazy when we hear the results, okay? Now, Christine spoke with Dawn after Ben Crump. Christine said something really important. I don't know if you guys have heard this before, but she said one of Nolan's coaches who was on Horn Island on the same day said that he saw Nolan around 2:45 to 3:30 on the island. And by the way, the boat hadn't left at that time. The boat left at 4:31 to be exact. So he said that he saw Nolan, and very important, he said Nolan was not what everybody says, so drunk or inebriated or whatever. He said he was having a conversation and Nolan was fine. So that goes against this. Remember that dispatch, missing persons report that it's like, oh, Nolan was heavily drinking. He only had swim trunks on. We don't know what he was eating before. I played that for you. I showed that for you like 2 or 3 days ago. So there's reports that, oh yes, he was this, he was that, whatever. A coach told Christine, no, he was fine. I had a full-on conversation with him. And that was around 2:45, 3:30. Very, very important information. Now, Dawn asked about Officer Dingbat, former Officer Tatum, and Christine shut it down right away. She said, absolutely no comment. I'm going to play the clip for you in a second. Then Dawn goes on to say, all right, I know you don't want to talk about him, but what do you think about Nolan's friends that are being interviewed by Officer Dingbat? And she says, that's a distraction. No comment. What happened to my son? I love Christine because I try my best not to talk about Officer Tatum. For those who watch this channel daily,
whatever he has to say about this is irrelevant at this point. He's said enough. Let's get down to the nitty gritty and get down to the meat of things. Let's talk about this autopsy. Hopefully that'll be revealed soon. Toxicology reports, all of those things that are the science is gonna determine, what the cause of death is. So all of these speculative things that are going out there that are really not helping should just kind of sit and wait until the pathologists do their job. Abdul says, how does someone drown in 4 feet of water with 100 people around him? That don't add up. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't add up. It really doesn't add up. What it really boils down to is the account of the boys versus the account of Katie. Okay? That's what it all boils down to. And I think we'll find out sooner or later. Let's see. Rodney Newsom says, y'all black folks just won't quit giving hope to a murder. Why? So we can kick off George Floyd 2.0. See, you know what? Fuck you. Get out of here. with that bullshit. Get your ass out of here, racist. I'm sick of them. I mean, really sick of them. A young man is dead, and you're throwing shit out about George Floyd and what black folks want. You have no idea what black folks want. Take your head out of your ass. Wake up, smell the damn coffee. Winston said, to me, once you was with him and he died, nobody going home. I'm not sure I understand that. To me, once you was with him and he died, nobody going. I don't know what you mean by that, sweetheart. But, you know, I believe, well, it's hard to believe anything at this point because it's so convoluted. But we'll get down to we'll be here to see it through. I'm not making no promises. most definitely not making no promises. But pretty much that's the end of this. Let me go to the very end and see if that's it. Okay, we've already seen the interview between Dawn and the mother. So that pretty much does it. So you guys, with that said, I think this is a fine time to end the live, you guys. Hold on just a second. Ain't no one going home unless we're all going home together. You go out with 6 people in your party, you better come home with 6 people. Hello, I agree with that. In your party, anything else is horse shit and suspect. Bingo. Bingo. I completely agree. I completely agree. Winston said, I lose a friend the same way. You lost a friend the same way? I'm sorry to hear that. David said, probably meant somebody is definitely going to jail. Well, you know what? Based on their movements, oh my goodness, the way they moved that night, that very night, just it just looked bad. It looked really, really bad, you know. So, yeah, it still hurts. I can imagine, Winston. I can imagine. I lost a son to drowning, so there's nothing more hurtful than to lose your child, you know. And I couldn't imagine being her. My son drowned as well, but I knew he drowned. She doesn't really know. So my heart is really with her, you know. And he was so young and had so much going for him. And, you know, there's a whole lot that you can read into this whole scenario. You really can. So with that said, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the live. I really, really appreciate all of you that came and hung out with me tonight. Thank you so much for the interaction, all the comments, just everything. You brought a lot of light to a lot of different subjects and a lot of different things to ponder. So, you know, anytime I go live, if you happen to have your notifications set, I would love to have you back. So set your notifications, and God bless you. You guys have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful Saturday night. Peace out. Good night.
Hey there, my kinfolk. Thanks for stopping by. Auntie Mickey's house, where we reach for the sky. Every comment and smile, you make my heart glow. Together we're strong, together we grow. From gossip to politics, we cover it all. Sharing laughs and thoughts, having a ball. Your support means everything that I know. Feels like family here in this sweet show. So let's keep it flowing, keep the love alive. Every moment together makes me thrive. You're more make it bright. Your support lifts me up, takes flight.